Alright, in this video we're going to import a character with animation into the game, and we'll create an animation controller for our character. So with the animation controller, you can load all of the animation cycles you created on your character, and you can play them in a different order. For example, for this character, I have about 5 to 6 animation clips, and here I just loop all of them. However, I can just loop, for example, one clip. For example, this one, the sit in idle, or this one, sit idle animation, and loop it together. So this will be a citizen given in this Silent Hill. Okay, so let's see how we can make this happen. And let me quick. And this is the model I have, and as you can see, I have all the model files here, and I'll delete this to plan and delete this light. Okay, so let me go to the select all by type, all the joints, so you can see these keyframes. So here's the first animation cycle, the first idle. Here's the second idle. Here's the third idle. Okay, so I made a Word document to write down all of the frame ranges for all of the animation cycles. Okay, so these will be used as a reference for Unity 3D. So later on, when I create the animation cycles, I'm going to use the frames as a reference. And once I'm done with this, I could keep all of these models in the root hierarchy. And here's the skeleton. And then I go to a file and I export all, and make sure you check it on animation. And for here, the FBX file format, I also use FBX 2011. It's a very stable file format. The latest version, I don't use it. Sometimes it has a bug and it's not that stable. So export it as a FBX file, and we can start from there. So here, let's see. Okay. So here's the folder, the Unity project folder. So what you'll do is, you will switch back to your folder and copy your FBX model. You just export it to here, right? And don't switch back to Unity when you are doing this step. And then go to the texture folder and go to source images and copy all of the texture images here. Okay, so once I'm done for both the model and texture, and then I'll switch back to Unity 3D. So you don't load the model with the texture. Oops, I have to switch my project. Okay, so once you did that, and then Unity 3D will load the project, you will load the model and texture at the same time, so that you will link them. So that's why I do copy the model and texture at the same time. Okay, so here you're running, when you have normal map, you just have to click on fix and it'll convert it. Here, since I changed the scene to entirely black, so I have to go to the render lighting setting, temporarily change it back so I can see the scene a little bit better. Okay, and later on I'll change it back. So here in the models, as you can see, here's our the old lady file, and we'll just drop it here, and we can bring it to, oops, I missed it. Okay, bring it to that house. Press F key so we can lock our view on her, and then we can use this door as the scale reference. Okay, so I maybe make it a little bit bigger, so let's see, 1.5. Okay, 1.5 looks to be a good size. And then I'll just rotate it along the y-axis for about 180 degree. Okay, so she will sit here, maybe here in the center. Alright, so now if you test play the game, you should see that our character is standing here with the texture. However, she don't have animation. So actually, let me go to the render setting and make it brighter, so we'll be able to see her better. Okay, something like this. So what we'll do is go to here, go to the folder, and right-click and create a new folder. So we'll name it Anime. So in this folder, we're going to create animation controllers. It'll be updated here. Okay. So in the Anime here, right-click and create a down below here animation controller, and we can name it ordinary anime 1. So if you're going to create more animation controllers, right? So I'll have a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here I'll just have 1. Okay. So we can right-click and open it, and then you can see here it opened a new step. So previously we are in the scenes step, and now we are in the animator controller tab. Okay, and you can use your mouse middle button to zoom out, or you can click on the middle mouse button and then you can pan left and right. So here I want to bring the exit stage closer to my entrance state. Okay, and then I'll go to the models folder, and I'll select our character. Okay, as you select your character, you can see that here's the model tab, and if you switch to the animation tab, you should be able to see under the animation tab, here is the keyframes you have created, right? As you can see, if I switch back to Maya, here in my timeline, for this project, I have 2,500 frames, right? Here it doesn't have a keyframe, but my work area has this frame range. So here is it. So it has all of the keyframes, right? Even though I have 5 different animation cycles, but since I have all of the keyframes on the same timeline, so it have a clip, one single clip that has all the keyframe, and the clip name is take 01. Okay, and you can also find it here. So if you go to the model and click on this triangle, and here's the animation clip, right? So this clip has all the animation frames. So what you can do is you can click on, well, not click on that, just drag it to here. Okay, so just drag it to here, and then see, by default it will connect the entrance stage to here, to this animation clip. So what this means is when the game is awake, this player, this animation controller, you can understand as a player, it will play the take 01 animation clip immediately. Okay, and what we'll do after, see, once it is done, once it played one time, there's no other functions, so it'll stop at here. So what you'll do is right click on that, and then click on make transition, and then we'll transit to exit state. So what this means is when you press the play button, it will play this animation clip immediately, and once it's done, it'll exit this player, and then it'll entry again. It'll re-entry, play, and exit. So it'll play this in loop. Alright, and then our next step is go back to the scenes folder, and we have to apply the animation controller we just created onto this character we brought into the scene, right? So if you select our character in the scene, if you select her, you can see in the inspector window, here it has a animator window, and for controller it's empty, right? So what you'll do is you'll go to the anime folder and use the animation controller you just created. So with the character selected, drag this animation controller and drop it onto the controller. So basically this is a player, and now we are telling the program that this character, it has a player, and that player will play the keyframes it has. Right, so now let's test the play. So if I play and I walk towards her, see, she's sitting there and she is playing all the keyframes I have. And after this animation clips, I think she will stand up. So this is the fourth. This is the fourth, and then she will stand up. Alright, so now you can see that she is playing all the 5 animation clips together, right? This whole timeline. However, what if I only want her to play one animation cycle? So what you have to do is you have to specify the animation on your model. So you will select, go to the model folder, select your character, and go to here, the animation tab. And here it has a plus sign, so you'll just have to click on that to add an animation clip. So here I will reference my Word document. So this is the seed idle 1, and the range is from 10 to 78. So I'll say seed idle 1. Hit the return key to confirm the change. So the name will be updated. And by default, it still has the whole range. And here it also says, you have to collapse the range because the clip range is outside of the range of the source take. That is because the whole range, it has 2,500 frames, right? However, on my timeline, as you can see, if I select all the frames, it only have, let's see, it only have 2429 frames, right? 2,429 frames. So that's why, it says there's an empty spot. So you can just clap the range. So it'll just jump it directly to here. So now we can decide the frame rate. So it should be 10 to 78. So you can just type it here, hit return key, and here we want to loop the time, loop the cycle, right? And then click on apply. So it'll update. So now we have we added a animation cycle, and also you can go to the model and you can see it should be updated here, right? Seed idle 1. And now I can go to my animation controller, double click on this one to go back here, and I can select the take 01 and just hit just right click on that and delete. And I can go back and select the model and drop in the seed idle 1. And then connect it to the exit stage. So now if I play, you should see that your character should only repeat this cycle. She's just standing, sitting still there, right? Very relaxed. Okay. And then you'll repeat this process to create all the rest animation cycles. So I'll move very fast since I'm just repeating what I'm doing. So it will be 1992,509. Return key and clap range, and 92 to 59 should be 509. And loop time and apply. Okay, add one. This will be 520 to 997 and loop and apply. Okay, and here add and return key and clap 10 to 1693. Loop time, apply. And then we'll see stand idle. To 2429. Oh, it's already there because that's the end frame. Alright, so now if I apply, so now we should have all the 5 animation cycles you noted here. So later on, as you learned how to animate your character, you can create as many animation cycles as you want, and you can load on your character, right? So here what you can do is, see, if I go back to here, and if I duplicate her, make a duplication and place her to here, and I can go select my animation controller, and also I can just duplicate, hit Command D, make a duplication, and for the second animate controller, and I can delete this one, and then I can load my other idle animation and make a transition, kind of like here, and play. So now you can see how it looks. So basically, they will play. Oh wait, I forgot one step. So I have created the second animation controller, right? But I forgot to apply it to the duplicated character. So select this duplicate character and apply the animation controller. And now if I play, you should see that each of the character, they will play a different animation cycle, right? A different idle animation. So that's to say, if you want to use this to in loop, you can just create more animation controller, and for each animation controller, you can give it a different animation clips, right? You can also do this. Let me delete the second character. So you can also, let's say, go back to the first animation controller, and if I want more animation clips, I can do here. I can drop in the second idle animation, and here I select it and hit Command D to make a duplication, and this one I don't need it, right? So make a duplication and duplicate one more time, and so make a transition. So this will play the second idle animation 3 times, and then after I done that, I want it to switch it to a weird pose, which is she's sitting there and nothing, okay? And after she enough for one time, here play it for one time, and then I want her to stand, so she can stand, okay? And then if you're done with it, you can just make a transition back to exit. So now if I play, you should see that she's playing the idle animation for 3 times, and then she'll start to laugh, very weird laughing animation. Come on, you're still not done, not finished yet. Okay, here we go. So she'll have a weird pose. I haven't applied facial expression to her, only the body language for nothing, so it looks weird. And then she will stand up and have an idle for stand up. Alright, so that's how you can put more details for the animation controller. And then let's bring in the chair. As she sits, she don't have a chair, right? So I'll come here, and so I have another chair model here. Okay, so you can just copy the FBX file to here, and these are the texture images I've created. So you can just Command C, copy, and paste it to texture folder, and then go back to the scenes. It will take a few seconds to load. Okay, so now we can click on fix, and then alright, and then we'll switch to the scene, and here we'll go to model and drop in our nether chair. Okay, let's make it a bit bigger, so I'll say maybe 1.5, and rotate in 180 degree, brought it here. Okay, so it should be lower than her knee. So let's test and play to see if she's sitting on it. looks great. Okay, looks perfect. And you can even make it smaller if you think it's too big. And don't forget to add a collider for the character. So now in this scenario, because our chair is a high polygon model, right? See, if I select its model, let's see, the model is a 3.8 megabyte, so it should be around 20,000 vertices, so it's large. So what I'll do is I'll select it, hit F key, select it, and add a component. So this time I'll add a box collider. So for box collider, as you can see, it only have and you have 8 points. Okay, and then you can change the size of it, and I just found this is a little bit hard to change the size because I can't move it, right? If I move this collider, I'm moving the table. So another way you can do it, see here, I'll just remove it. Another way you can do it is select the nether chair, hit F key to knock down, knock a view on it, and then create an empty object. So for this empty object, you can add your box collider, and then you can rename it as, let's see, collider 1, and then we can just press R key for rotate for scale. It could be much easier, right? I always do it in this way, and make sure it covered the side area, and then I'll just select this one, hit Command D to make a duplication, and move it up, and then scale it. Alright, so just to cover the area that you have the chair, and then that's enough. And what I'll do is select both of these two and drop it into this folder. Okay, and when you walk around here, you will not be able to pass the chair, so it'll block you from penetrating through it. Okay, so that's the workflow of how to add the character with the animation and create the animation controller for the character.